Tubes and Wires, Chapter 3. The Breaker Room. You woke up to the sound of your hamster chewing on the bars of his cage, letting you know that he was hungry, and it was kind of irritating to hear at 10:15 in the morning. You groaned and pulled the covers off your warm body, the room temperature air hitting your skin as you rubbed your eyes and yawned. You then looked around. ENNARD wasn't in the room anymore. Well, I guess he had better things to do today, you quietly said as you slipped out of your bed and gave Kevin some fresh fruit and a treat. You fed your fish and made your bed. It seemed that your foot had gotten a little better over the night, but you limped a little. You were happy that you could walk with a bruised ankle. You stepped into Belora's gallery, being careful not to disturb her with any noise. As you walked, you began to hear distant singing. You stopped for a minute to listen, soon realizing that the singing was coming from Belora herself. Her tune was beautiful and calming, but yet sad. You were so entranced by the magical tune that you didn't even notice that how close Belora was to you or how close you were to her, because you had literally followed the tune. Belora ended up singing and looking down at you, as if waiting for an answer. Beautiful song, Belora. You complimented her. Thank you, she replied, bowing slightly. You're surprised to see she talked, even though you had just heard her singing. The song must have been programmed into her system as well as other phrases and sentences. You remember that she had helped save you and ENNARD from a fun-time Foxy attack last night. Now was a chance to thank her, and thanks for saving me and ENNARD last night. We probably would have been ripped to pieces by now if you hadn't come. You said that, smiling nervously. She gave you a nod as to say you're welcome. You then heard the distant shuffle of small feet. You and Blur turned your gaze to the darkness. You froze as you saw two gold eyes blink to life, as well as slowly approach to where you and Belora were standing. Being frightened, you backed up accidentally, bumping into Belora's ballerina friend. She put her hand on your shoulder to calm you. Suddenly, 3 more pairs of identical eyes came to life. Puzzling you? Giggles were heard at the eyes bound and danced off into darkness, revealing the 4 minorinas. You let out a relieved sigh. Hello, you said cheerfully. They all looked at you and waved happily. You stepped forward and knelt down, allowing the little animatronics to hug you in warm welcome. This was actually the first time meeting the minorinas in person, rather than seeing them on stage by Belora. They were glossy and full of energy. They ran around and danced with each other. A very heartwarming view. You loved how the 4 mini ballerinas got along with each other. And then popped back up in your head. Belora, did you see ENNARD any this morning? You asked. The ballerina thought for a second and then just pointed to the breaker room at the end of the gallery. Thank you, Belora, you said, then waving bye to her and the minorinas. As you made your way to the breaker room, Belora continued dancing, this time with the minorinas at her side. As you approached the breaker room, you noticed that the light above the door had gone out, leaving you once more stranded in the darkness. With effort, you pushed the heavy metal door open and stepped into the room. It was dark as well. The only source of light was coming out of the strange-looking breaker box with glowing and red buttons out of the side of it. A small tablet could be seen lying beneath the breaker box. Maybe it had a flashlight on it. You picked up the tablet and were baffled that automatically turned on, revealing a Restore Power heading. It also showed a blueprint-like map of Circus Baby Pizza World, even showing areas of the establishment that you didn't even know existed. To the side of the tablet screen, a list of 8 places were shown, with a bar underneath the red Restart. Out of curiosity, you pressed the first bar. A percentage increase was shown as your fingers were held on the bar. When the percentage reached 100%, the bar read, Online, and a place on the map lit up in a green light. You put the tablet down to find that one of the 8 lights on the breaker box had turned green. The power was out this whole time? Then why isn't my room powerless? Well, maybe I can fully restore the power and light up the rest of the establishment. You thought with a good feeling in your heart. You began to restore all of the power bars. When you got to the 3rd one, a light flickered on and off in the breaker room, giving some light every 3 to 5 seconds. After starting the first power bar, you decided to look around the room for ENNARD. He wasn't there. You were about to continue restoring the power, but a rapid flashing light drew your attention towards the end corner part of your room. You peered through the darkness and saw something white. When the corner light flickered on, you saw Funtime Freddy. He was slightly knelt down with his arms open wide like he was going to give you a hug, and his mouth was a gape. You knew this was a certain animatronic was crazy and obsessed with his little Bonnie puppet, whom he called Bonbon. The only difference between the two Funtime animatronic was that Funtime Foxy wasn't all that strong, but he had speed, jaws, and claws, while Funtime Freddy wasn't all that fast, but he had strength and probably more powerful bite than Funtime's Foxy. The animatronic bear could literally tear you in half in 1 second. Hey guys, this is part 3. If you enjoyed it, just leave a little like or comment and let me know that you're listening. Have a great day.